story for today. And as I mentioned before, that today we're going to be talking about traveling under the current conditions to and from India. And with that, we'd like to go to that interview, and we will be joined in the studios via our link with Tanvi Goyal from Oz India Travel. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we know, in these days and times, we have always been talking about so many things that are happening within our community. And of course, we have a lot of our Indian students here as well, and everyone under the COVID-19 situations and with the travel restrictions are unable to travel, to India, to other countries. And today we are very fortunate to have the services and expertise of Tanvi Goyal, who is from Oz India Travel, and she joins us to give us an insight into what can be done and what can't be done. So welcome to the show, Tanvi.
Thank you so much, Umeshji, for the opportunity. Hello, everyone. Namaste, Sasyakal, Kem Cho. I hope you all are safe and sound. So thank you for listening to us on Australian Indian Radio.
And thank you very much for once again joining us. So please, before we go any further, Tanvi, I think we need to have a disclaimer that whatever we are presenting today is for general information, and that people will need to check their personal circumstances before they make their final decisions.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay, so now if, we've received many calls here as well, and many people are eager, to find out that what can be done. Even, I've arranged some people's connections with the Indian consulate as well. But at this time, can people fly to India?
Yes, Umeshji, mostly everyone can fly. However, there are some extra documents required, especially if you are PR or Australian citizen.
So what are these documents? What's required?
Okay, so basically, Umeshji, if someone is Indian citizen on visitor visa or temporary visa, they can just go straight. They can just book the flight and go. But if you are permanent resident, you have to apply the exemption to travel from Home Affairs website. Or if you are citizen, then you need extra documents. So you need the exemption to travel, same as PR, and also you need OCI. So in some cases, if you don't have OCI, then you would need an emergency visa to fly.
Okay, so, we've talked about the citizens, we've talked about the OCI card. What would happen to a tourist if, someone wants to go on a tourist or business visa? Okay,
so you mean the tourist visa to India?
Yes.
Right? So for that, you need to talk to Indian High Commission, and they will advise you based on your circumstances. We have few passengers who have applied on emergency visa based on the medical reasons, or there's some unfortunate death in family. So I will advise you further when we go in the how to apply that. But yes, you have to check with the Indian High Commission, and they will advise you whether based on your circumstances you can apply for emergency visa or not.
Oh, that's a very good suggestion there as well. So when we were talking about, the exemption, how do people go to, get this exemption? How do they apply for this exemption?
Exemption. Okay. So, Umeshji, just to give you a bit of idea, everyone who are listening. So before 24th of August, it was really easy that you just go on Home Affairs website and apply it. They were not even asking for much documentation. But after 24th of August, there are mainly two reasons, Umeshji, which we are, watching people getting approval. So one is the medical reason. So it can be like if someone sick themselves, or if there is their family or especially parents are sick, then they can apply. Or if there is any unfortunate death in family. Now, I just want to inform everyone listening to us, so what they have to do basically, because we have some instances where people have put so many documents and they got rejected recently. So I would recommend everyone, if you're applying for exemption to travel, just put the main documentation. So mainly what they want you to apply is to put the document is, one is the reason. So the reason can be a medical certificate or the death certificate, and second, the relationship. So whatever relationship you have with that person, mainly those who are going for parents, or themselves, they are getting approved. But in case if you are going for your sister or your brother, you can attach their passport copy and your passport copy, which will mention that you both have the same parents, and then you can attach the reason with that. So this is really very, very important. And you can go on basically Home Affairs website. So I'll share with you a link as well, which is www.covid19.homeaffairs.gov.au/leaving-Australia. So if you even type on Google Leaving Australia, you should be able to get that link. But this is exactly the place where you go and you can apply the exemption to travel. So it's very easy.
Oh, that's wonderful. And we will share that website and that web address with all our viewers and listeners. So can we fly with existing India visa?
Okay, so Umeshji, no, you can't. So if someone got the Indian visa before March 2020, that visa is not valid anymore. So if you want to go India now and you don't have OCI or you don't have Indian passport, then you have to apply for the emergency visa and you have to contact the Indian High Commission for that first.
Okay, so how does one go about, getting an Indian emergency visa?
Okay, so for Indian emergency visa, there is a procedure. First of all, we don't provide the visa services, but we can inform you how our other passengers received it. So basically, there is a procedure to follow. So first of all, you have to contact Indian High Commission. Well, I'll tell you the website of Indian High Commission, where they have also mentioned the main contact details for COVID-19, where you can contact, where you can call them or you can email them. So website is www.hcicanberra.gov.in. If you go on that page, on that website, you will get all the contact numbers and email IDs. And then you just call them on these numbers. First thing. Second, they will inform the VFS what needs to be done. They will advise you, first of all, whether you will get the emergency visa or not. And then you have to go to the VFS. You can go to VFS if, for instance, if you're in Brisbane, there is an office in city already in VFS. So you can go to the VFS and ask them that you want to apply for emergency visa. As per my information, they are charging you close to $200. It may change as well. And you have to leave your passport with them, the original passport. Okay, so by leaving that, they will put the stamp on that passport. They have to send that passport to Canberra. And majority of cases, you get that passport back in your mail within 2 to 10 business days. So it depends how many days you are looking for. So if you apply for the emergency, then you might get it fast as well. So I heard so far someone got within 2-3 days as well. So you have to inform them when you apply that you want to have it fast or you are okay with 10 business days, Umeshji.
So that's a very, very good information, very useful information to a lot of our listeners and everyone. Now, what about quarantine, because we know that anyone coming in here has to go and be under quarantine. So what's the quarantine situation or conditions if someone's traveling to India?
Okay, so Umeshji, I would say it's a really good news for everyone who are flying to India now. So there was a new rule came in effect on 8th of August. So according to that rule, if you are traveling to India and you do COVID test 96 hours prior to your international flight, then you can apply for the Air Suvidha exemption form. So you can apply that online, which has to be done maximum 72 hours prior to departure. That's just a special like New Delhi link is there where you just upload your COVID test report and you can apply the exemption. Generally, when you apply that exemption, they give you there is an auto mail comes to you saying you have applied. And then after some time, you get another mail saying you have been accepted. So if you apply the exemption and do the COVID test, you can go home straight. So you don't have to do the home quarantine. It's a home quarantine if you go with the COVID test, negative report and exemption.
Oh, that's wonderful news. So, where do people go to get COVID test and what are the procedures then? Okay,
so Messi, everyone can go, basically you can go anywhere, any of the centers around you, whoever is doing the COVID test. But I'll definitely recommend everyone of you to call them before you go, because I heard from some passenger that they were charged. So majority of my passenger, I would say 99% of the people haven't paid anything. But I heard from some passenger that they paid as well. And it was a last minute shock to them that, why do they have to pay? And then they don't have enough time to go to the other places and do it. So I'll highly recommend you to call those centers before you go. You can go to any center around you. And second thing, tell them when you go there that you have a flight within 96 hours, you have international flight, and you need your test within 24 hours or so. And I just want to mention one more thing here. So not every center giving you a report like a physical report, because when you apply for the exemption, you have to upload a report. So in case they don't give you a report, generally all the centers are sending you SMS, Umeshi, where they just say, your COVID test is negative. So if that happens, what you have to do is you have to go to the GP. You can go to any GP around you or the hospital. And you have to tell them that you need a letter because you are flying to India, and that is one of the procedure. Now, there are 4 very, very important points, everyone, which you have to make sure that it's in your report in order to get you the exemption. So one, Umeshji, is a passport name as per the, so name should be as per the passport in that report. Date of birth should be there. That should be as per passport as well. Make sure the GP has written the when and what time the test was done, and also the COVID test is negative. So these 4 points are very, very important. If you don't have that in order, then your exemption can be rejected as well, Umesh.
Once again, that's all very, very useful information. I'm sure that will come very handy for anyone who's planning to travel at this point in time. So is there any other forms that need to be filled? Because, this seems okay, it's doable, but are there any other forms that might be required?
Yeah, yes, Umeshji, there are some more formalities to be done, which are mandatory 72 hours prior to departure. So mainly, they say that it should be 72, but let me just mention one thing here. It's practically not really possible that you can do always 72 hours. So I know few passengers who have done a little bit before as well. However, it's subject to the officials, whether they agree, but you have to definitely do it before you depart. So there are mainly 4 things needs to be done before you fly. That is mandatory. One is the Air Suvidha self-reporting form. That is mandatory. And that form you can get on, I'll tell you the website as well. So that's www.newdelhiairport.in and then /Air Suvidha /APHO registration. So if you go on that link, you can apply, you can fill that self-reporting form. So basically what it is, Umeshji, is basically you are reporting to Indian government that you are coming to India. So here, don't worry about it because it says that you have to do a mandatory quarantine for 7 days or 14 days. But because it's a mandatory form, and anyone who is not doing a COVID test, they have to go through the institutional quarantine. So they mentioned that, but don't worry about it because the next form is the exemption form, which we already discussed in the COVID procedure as well. So exactly the same form where you have to upload the COVID test, and I'll tell you a link as well. So it's on the same website, newdelhiairport.in, then /Air Suvidha /COVID-19 exemption international passenger. So if you go on the same website, you have to upload your COVID test report and you can apply for the exemption. So this is also mandatory. Third thing is Arogya Setu app. So that app, they say it's mandatory as well. However, I know some passengers previously who could not install it because, we have old passengers mainly, Umeshji, going. We have our mother and fathers and they don't know how to use phone. So in that case, just try to install it on your phone, or maybe, if you have a son or daughter, if they can install it, and you can tell them when you reach to the airport. But this is one of the mandatory thing as well. And fourth is the India arrival immigration form. So generally this form you can get in flight as well, or once you reach India, but we generally recommend everyone to do it before you go. So, your parents don't have to do anything. So you fill all the form and everything to them. All they have to do is when they check in, they have to write their seat number in that form, but they are all good to go. So everything is already filled up before they go. So these 4 things are really important, Umeshji, before they go.
So those are very important forms there. So Air Suvidha self-reporting, then Air Suvidha exemption request, then the Arogya Setu. And, you know, we do the news every day and we keep hearing that message that agar abhi tak aapne ye app download nahi kiya to aap kar lijiye, you know. So that message we have been listening, you know, in the news daily that we do. So our news goes to air at about 7 every morning. So what options do we have to fly to India now? Maybe say from Brisbane, Melbourne or Sydney. So which of the three would be the best?
Okay, so basically, Maishi, I just want to clarify one thing first, that right now there is no commercial flight happening. So, so all repatriation flights are going. So when we talk about repatriation flight, either they can be Vande Bharat mission flights, which majority of us know it, that's Air India. Second, it can be Emirates. So Emirates is also repatriation flight. And third is a charter flight. So charter flight can be of any airlines. It can be Malaysian Airlines, Sri Lankan Airlines, Scoot Airlines, even Malindo Airlines, depending on the charter organizer. Now, let's start with the Brisbane first, that what Brisbane people have option right now. So from Brisbane, I would recommend two best options. So one is we have a flight going on 5th of November. That's really amazing opportunity for everyone who want to go easily and want to send their parents without any hassles, because this particular flight will depart straight from Brisbane. They can drop their parents as well at the airport, and flight departs 3 p.m. and it has got only 1 hour refueling halt, which means they don't have to change plane in Singapore. They just reach straight to Delhi, which will reach there 12:45 a.m. So that's a direct around 14 hours halt with just a refueling. And then that same charter we are connecting to Pan India as well. We are connecting to every city in India. So for example, if someone has to go to Ahmedabad or Amritsar or Hyderabad or Bangalore, Chennai, you just name it. We can connect this charter to anyone, to any city in India. And fare-wise, it's not too bad as well. So fare starts $14.65 if someone going Brisbane to Delhi. And if you're going to Ahmedabad or other cities, it's a maximum $16.95, including your baggage 30 plus 7. Or if you're going till 30 plus 3, sorry. In case of Scoot, is giving you hand luggage 3 kilos. But yeah, baggage is included as well in this one. And second, as I mentioned before, if you want, you can go for Vande Bharat mission flights or Emirates as well. But Vande Bharat mission flights is mainly going from Sydney. So anyone who is flying from Brisbane, I don't recommend that option. There's a reason behind it, because Air India flies mainly 10 o'clock in the morning from Sydney and reaching Delhi 6 p.m. What it means is someone who is going from Brisbane, they cannot go the same day. They have to go one day before, stay in airport. They can't stay actually at airport. They have to stay in hotel. And then they catch the flight 10 o'clock, first thing. Second, if they are not from Delhi and going to other cities in India, they again can't go the same day. So they reach Delhi at 6 o'clock, then they have to stay again overnight in Delhi airport or Delhi nearby hotel, and then they catch the next flight. So from people from Brisbane, I'm not recommending you to take this, because that way it's very much hassle, and you have to stay 2 nights in hotel or airport, then you reach home. So my second best option I would recommend you is Emirates. So Emirates, what's the benefit with Emirates, is someone can check in the luggage at Brisbane airport and get to the final destination. So you don't have to do with anything, you don't have to pick the luggage again. The only problem, the only thing with Emirates is it's going with a very longer haul to up to 22 hours. In Dubai. So for that, we have also arranged the hotel at the terminal itself, which means you just come out of your plane and then you stay there in the hotel at the terminal itself. That's a Dubai International Hotel. And then you come back again. Now, I just want to mention one thing here, because we receive a lot of calls from people saying, their parents are very old. How can they stay at airport or hotel for 22 hours, whether they have any facility? Now, for parents, Umeshji, a good news is parents can take a wheelchair assistance, which we can provide. And the wheelchair person, we have taken actually a lot of feedback from other passengers. They told us that if you take a wheelchair, the person is taking you from the aircraft, dropping you to the hotel terminal, the hotel who is at the terminal, and then pick you back again from the hotel and dropping you to the gate, which means they don't have to worry about it. They will have the full assistance. And when they reach, for example, someone going Brisbane to Chennai, they can check in at Brisbane. They stay 22 hours in a Dubai hotel, and then they get their baggage straight at Chennai, and then they go from there. So it's really good option for anyone going from Brisbane. That's the second option. Also want to tell you about the Sydney and Melbourne. So basically we have all the charters, all the flights flying from Australia to India, Umesh. So from Sydney, we have, let's say, charter on 29th October. We have charter from Melbourne of 1st of November as well. These are the direct charters from Melbourne to Delhi or Sydney to Delhi. And then you can take, we can connect you to the other cities as well. And if someone, can't fly on those dates and not happy with 22 hours, we can definitely connect them to to those charters as well.
Wow. Okay, so that's quite a lot of information. I mean, what about the tickets? If people are people want to book the tickets, how do they go about that?
Okay, so I'll tell you the step-by-step process, because I think everything really everyone feel it's so confusing what to do. So what I did was I have just created a step-by-step process for everyone who may see. So very first step is you have to send us the passport. You have to basically decide which flight you want to go for. We send you email with all the details, and then the second step is you have to send us a passport copy, visa copy, or in case you are PR Australian citizen, you can send us the exemption report, which you can send later as well. But to start with, you have to send us a passport copy, visa copy, the emergency contact numbers in case emergency arises, and then a deposit. So deposit can be somewhere $100 to $200 depending on the flight you have chosen. And if you take Emirates or Air India, any other repatriation flight, not charters, you have to pay full as well at the time of booking. Now, third step is you have to pay the balance. If you're going for charter, you have to pay the balance, and you will be getting emails saying the flight is confirmed. Then the third step is you will receive a domestic flight in case you're not going to Delhi, or your flight is like if you're not going to Delhi, going to Hyderabad or some other places. If there's a domestic flight involved, then you will get that ticket. Step number 4 is you have to do a COVID test, maximum 96 hours prior to departure. You will be getting updates about that as well. Step 5 is you have to fill the remaining forms, which we already discussed, the 72 hours form, exemption form, or a self-reporting, etc. And then step 6 is you receive your final international flight ticket 24 to 48 hours prior to departure. So these are the main 6 steps how your booking goes when you book any charter flight at this stage, Umesh.
Wow, that's quite the few steps involved there, and I'm glad that you put them out step by step. We all got so used to just booking a flight today and jumping on the flight tomorrow and just going through all these steps remind me of the olden days when, you had to apply for visas, wait, and then go somewhere and get a ticket. Wow. So are there any options to book flights from India to Australia as well? Coming back the other way.
Okay, so maybe that's really a really tough question, I would say. And first of all, I would say, everyone, if it's not really urgent for you, please don't go because you might get stuck for a while. But Umesh, I would say there's a good news as well, which we heard, like there were a few notifications last week where seems Australian government is planning to bring Aussies back. They are planning some flights as well. So hopefully there should be something coming up next month or maximum by January. However, again, just think before you go. Now, I'll tell you what options available now and what people can do if they're stuck in India, Umesh. So very first thing, I would recommend everyone to register yourself with the Australian High Commission Delhi, so you will get the updates. So it's just an online website, Umesh, where people can register and they will get the updates about all the flights coming from India to Australia. Second thing, if they want to book, then they can only book the Vande Bharat mission flights at this stage, Umesh, which they have to book yourself. We are not getting any information that we can book. And third is we are still optimistic. Some of our partners have applied for the charters from India. As soon as we get approval, we should be able to book for you. But really, at this stage, there is nothing we can book. And fourth is, Umesh, we are taking expression of interest as well from people who wants to come back. So if you send us the passport copy and details, which state you want to come and what are your circumstances and which city you are stuck, if you send us email to my email ID, so that is Tanvi, TANVR, ausindiatravel.com.au. And so we will contact you when everything becomes available. We also recommend everyone to check our page, which is www.facebook.com/AusIndiaTravel, because we always keep sharing, Umesh, whatever new thing is coming. And also we have created 2 different groups where we are trying to help everyone. So why we have created 2 groups, Umesh, so people don't get confused. So we have one group called Indians Stuck in Australia. So anyone who are stuck in Australia can you join that group. So you have updates, what's happening, and you can even club with other people as well, and you know other people, what they are doing and how things are. And the second group is Australian Stuck in India. So if you are stuck in India, you can join that group, and with that group you will have information that what's happening, which flights are available, what calls needs to be done. So yeah, this is what I would recommend at this stage, Umesh.
Wow, that's quite a lot of information there. Of course, like you mentioned, that unless it is absolutely necessary, stay put. But, if you do need to travel under the, the compassionate and compelling reasons, there are ways and means, and there are steps to follow. And of course, everyone should look into those steps before we, jumping on board. So that you have all the things, and that you now, just before I let you go, what about cancellations? Have any flights been cancelled? Because I've had some people saying, that they booked and then their flights got cancelled.
Okay. So, Umesh, in starting when the Emirates started the repatriation flights, that time we heard a few flights were cancelled. I literally heard hardly a couple of flights of Emirates got cancelled. I would say the reason being, not many people knew that the Emirates is flying, and they were not confident in the beginning. But after that, you will be surprised that Emirates, for the October, it's already sold out for economy. The next fare up is just $6,000 a business class. So after that, I didn't hear any Emirates flight got cancelled. And second, the cancellation about the the Vande Bharat mission flight to Air India, I didn't hear any of those flights got cancelled at all so far. And third is the charter flights operating. So most of the charter flights also operating. In the worst case scenario, sometimes they just reschedule flights a little bit here and there. But there is a clause. In case charter flights cancels completely, they give you full refund back. Amazing.
Oh, so that's good. As long as there's that provision there for the refund. As you know what people are like, they talk about all kinds of things. So, but it's been wonderful that, you have shared so much information with us. And now I think just for the interest of the listeners and viewers, I think we should provide this updates on a regular basis, because things will change. Yeah. What is correct today, it might, from time to time they will change. So I think we might look at, a regular update, maybe on a weekly basis or something like that. Whatever, or whenever there are major changes that are announced, I think that would be very helpful to all our listeners. Now, so just before I let you go, if people need some more information about any of the discussed topics or about booking any flights, where and how can they reach you?
Okay, so Umesh, if someone has any questions, they can call me at 040-440-3264. So I'll repeat again, 040-440-3264. Or they can email me at Tanvi, so Tango, Alpha, November, Victor, India, Tanvi at ausindiatravel.com.au. They can reach us at Facebook as well, or there are some other modes available on our website. They can apply for the callback option, or they can call a 1300 number, 07 numbers. Everything is available on our website, www.ausindiatravel.com.au. So it's www.ausindiatravel.com.au. So yeah, if you have any question, you can always contact us. Just want to mention one more thing here, Umesh, quite interesting. So guys, if you have been booked elsewhere, so I'm very, very proud to say that it's just not the passenger who are booking with us. We are helping anyone booking anywhere, Umesh. So every day we're receiving calls. In last 1 week also, we have helped more than 100 passengers who have booked with someone else, but they were very confused at what they have to do, how to do the COVID test, and how to fill those forms and everything. So even if you have booked elsewhere, don't worry about it. We don't charge you anything. There is not even a single cent charge. You can still contact us and we are happy to help you. And for other flights as well, so Umesh, any charters we are doing in Australia, we're not charging anyone anything. It's whatever the price the charter companies are giving, we are charging the same thing. There is no service fees basically involved, and we're trying to help everyone maximum possible. And just one more thing, we have on our Facebook page, Umesh, we have created some videos as well for you all. So if you want to know all about COVID tests, whatever we discussed, it's on our Facebook page as well. You just click on COVID tests. You can see that video which explains you everything about COVID tests. And I got another video about the 72 hours prior to departure formalities, the one which is just discussed. We have that video as well. So it's just not by the callings or emails. We are trying to give you maximum information possible by videos or calls. So if you have anything, guys, feel free to call. It doesn't matter you book with us or not. This is a time where we all have to come together as a community. We all are Indians. It's not even Indians. If you have anyone from different countries, we all should come together and make sure that, everyone is happy and, that we can help them every way we can. So yes, Umesh, definitely happy to help. Anything anyone have related to travel, always.
Thank you very much. As you mentioned, we are all humans first, so really appreciate that you helping people regardless of where they have booked in from. So that's the community spirit. Really commend you for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another community service session where we have shared all this information, which might be of very interest and very timely. Because just a while back there was not that many flights going, but now that it has slowly eased and started, and there are no cancellations or very few, if any. So if you need any further information, please. So Tanvi, once again, thank you so much for being on the show and sharing this information with us.
Thank you so much, Umesh ji, for having us in the studio. Thank you so much, Australian Indian Radio. And thank you all very much, all the listeners. We are always there to help you. So God bless you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Stay safe.
And thank you very much for all the comments that have been coming